Welcome to Veseys greenhouse. Today we are going to be talking about when you receive your roots, what they're going to look like. This is a package that you will receive in the mail from us, and the root will be in a plastic bag, which will need to be opened immediately. So when you open up the bag, this is a daylily, for example. It will look like this. So the best idea is to have a look at the roots and examine them. And sometimes a little bit of light pruning is a good idea. When you do go to light prune, be sure to use a sharp pair of scissors, or sharp pair of pruners, I mean, instead of a pair of scissors. Sometimes the scissors will, if you chop the ends of the roots off, sometimes it'll pinch the roots too much, and then it won't allow the water to be uptake from the root properly. So I'll just show you quickly here as I'm looking through the root of the daylily. There's just one little spot here I think I will clip out, and the rest of it looks very healthy. So after you've done checking through your roots to make sure that they're all healthy, it's a best idea to soak your roots in water for at least an hour prior to planting, whether you're planting them outside or in a pot temporarily until they're ready to go. What we like to do too here at Veseys is we do like to pot up our perennial roots, such as this one here, for a root that is this size, because it will encourage a nice root ball, and it gives them that time just to get a good head start in the greenhouse before planting them out in our trials. If you don't have the space, it's no need to worry about that. You can plant them in the soil, and I will show you in a few minutes also how to store your roots if you're unable to have the space to put them in pots. So this is a pot that I mentioned that I'm going to choose to put a root this size in. This is a daylily, like I mentioned. So it's very simple. All you have to do is take your soilless mix of peat moss, vermiculite, and perlite, and you just basically set your perennial right in the top of the soil, such as this. And I'm going to just put a little bit of soil around there, and I can use some of the remainder of what was in the bag, which is nice and moistened as well. And again, this is done after you've let your roots soak. It's very, very important to make sure that your roots are nice and wet prior to planting at any time. So now that that is all set to go, like you can see here, it's all potted in a good sized pot. Give it a little bit of water, but be sure not to water too much because you don't want your roots to get too wet and rot as well. And when you have that watered, set it in a nice place where it'll keep. If you have a sunny greenhouse, that's great, you can keep it in your greenhouse. But if you don't have a greenhouse, you can also keep it in a cool, dark and dry place such as your garage. As long as it doesn't go below freezing, they should be okay until you're ready to plant them out in the garden. That was just one example. That's a daylily, which is a little bigger size root and a little easier to tell which end is up. Some of the roots that you will receive, such as this rutabaga here, which is a beautiful, beautiful flower, it'll come looking like this. And sometimes people don't quite understand or know which end is up, and that could cause some issues later because the roots or the sprout will be under the soil. So it's a better idea just to have a look around in your bag and look for a little sprout, such as this one here. It has a nice little green tip, so it'll indicate that this is the end that you plant it facing upward. If you're really unsure with a root like this or with any type of bulbs, if you plant it on its side, it will find its way out of the soil anyway. So if you're really unsure, that's what you can try to do. So in a situation like this where the roots are a little smaller, again, you're going to want to go through them and make sure that the roots are all nice and healthy. And after soaking in the in water. I chose a pot this size here for this root. And just be sure to make sure that the roots are tucked in so that they all keep nice and moist, like this. And again, you can use any of the peat moss that comes in the bag. It's very sterile. So just pot it up in there. I do like using the square pots too, because it encourages the roots to spread out a little more. So if you do have a square pot, I'd choose the square pot over the round one, because sometimes the round ones will encourage the roots to circle and may end up girdling if they're in the pot for a very long time. So the rutabaga and the dahlia are ready to remain in their pots until they're ready to go out in the garden. I want to talk to you a little bit about the structure of the root too when you receive it. In our growing guide, we do say that you cover with soil up to the crown. So this is the crown right here. That's what we're talking about when we say the crown. So you'll want to make sure that the soil will reach up to here and not much higher, because it will end up covering the sprout, which may lead to some fungal issues or rot. So that's just a little helpful tip as well. If you're unable to put your plants in a pot like I have here, it's not a bad idea to have a cardboard box or any air, like a breathable container such as this one. Best not to use plastic, because the plastic will not allow a good air circulation, so it may cause the roots to rot. But if you don't have the space for pots, then all you need to do is take your root out of the bag as soon as you get it. I'm just going to move this box here so I can show you. I have some soil already, soilless mix already in this box. So all you do simply is just lay the roots in the box like this, and be sure that all of the roots are covered, and just maybe even press them in. And it's not a bad idea just to sprinkle a little bit of water on top of it, just to ensure that there's enough moisture there until you're ready to plant. So as far as we've done here with our roots, that's pretty much the best way to store your roots if you're unable to plant them right away, or to also encourage them to make a nice healthy root ball. Sometimes you will receive a plug in the mail, such as this one here. If you're unable to plant it right away, you can do the same thing. You can keep it in the pot that it's in, and I'm just going to show you the nice healthy root that it comes. And you can just keep it in the little pot that it's in. If you find that the root looks healthy enough, you can keep it in this size, but if you're concerned about the root getting too tight in the container, you can pot it up like I have here as well. So keep it in a cool, dry place as well, and continue to check on it for moisture, because you don't want it to dry out either. So those are just a few helpful hints on how you get started when you receive your roots from us here at Veseys. And stay tuned when we take these plants and show you how to plant them directly in the garden. Thank you for joining us here at Veseys Seeds, and happy gardening.